Here's my review of Monarch Legacy of Monsters, Episode 5. This episode had, I'm just going to get right off the bat. I think for this, I'd have to say it's the worst episode of the show. I think it's decent because there's definitely some great character work with Kate. But I think the problem is, there's no monsters in this episode. And I understand that. Like, the majority of the show is not actually about, like, monsters, about Monarch and, this evil facility. And it's the characters that make the show great. And that is true. I think that there is some excellent character work here. But I would at least like to see some monsters. There's nothing in this entire episode. And I will say, though, there are some, cool parts where they're returning to San Francisco and just the ruins of San Francisco, which is kind of, or just shows the desolate city. And it's just really cool to see. It's almost like this post-apocalyptic city. And it's, that part's cool. But it's man, I wish I could actually see some monsters. I'm sorry. But this episode was mainly about Kate, and we're showing her backstory as how she was a teacher and about how, everything with her father, which I think is fine. I thought there was definitely some great things to be had here. It's just, the problem is, it's just not interesting enough, I don't think, to almost, justify at least no monsters. And I don't know, there was still some stuff to like here. I think just seeing the ruins of San Francisco was cool. And a lot of this is just about Kate's relationship with Danny. And I just don't really think that it's just interesting enough for me to care. I like Kate as a character. I think that she's cool. She's one of the best characters in this show. But I don't really think they give Danny enough maybe to do for me to care. And I would excuse it if there was at least some cool, maybe deeper backstory, or at least some later on some moments with the monsters, but there's not. It's just about her relationship. And it's cool, I guess, but it's just nothing really truly special about it enough to really justify me caring. And it's nice to see her meet up with her mother. That was a sweet moment. But at the end of the day, I kept thinking can we kind of get to some monster action? And it never comes. And I'm sure, granted, we have had some awesome monster action in all the previous episodes. I guess it's okay to have one without any. But I just still wish that there was. At the end of the day, it's called Legacy of Monsters. Yes, Monarch is the true thing about this evil organization. And I understand that. But I would still just want to see some monsters. You do see some on a TV screen, but it's so small and out of the way. It's meh. And whenever Lee is on screen, when he's being interrogated about when they were in the Arctic after they were captured, that's awesome because Kurt Russell was just so charismatic. He's just so full of it. And everything that I've ever seen him in he's just so much fun to watch. And it's no different here. He can make this by all means not that good of an episode. He single-handedly almost boosted it up into being at least decent. And I thought it was cool seeing our characters. And I thought it was cool to see Kate's backstory, but there's just nothing really that interesting there going on. And I don't know, it's just there's just not much. See, I'd say that this episode it's okay. It's fine. I thought it was even good because there were some great moments, I think, with Kate. And there were some great moments with Lee. And there's just enough here. But then when we're also with, some of our other side characters, I just don't really care enough about them. Like Kintaro. But there's just not really enough, I don't think, here. Which I think overall this was okay episode. But there definitely could have been some more, just a little bit more monster action. But it was fine.